Feralheart, what a fucking week we've been having, huh?
Yeah,
I am your host,
boy.
Django_Fett, with my co-host, alphaeclipse, and our special guest and former Feralheart moderator, Calvary. Today we're going to be going over quite a few things. There is no format today, as it is going to be very simple. Here is basically our woman on the inside, and she's going to enlighten you on basically everything that has been going on. This has been a series of stories that I've been wanting to share on the stream for quite some time, so I am kind of excited. The only disappointing thing is that I am very sad about the circumstances that they're being shared under. As you all may know, Feralheart is currently down, and it is unknown as to when it will come back up. The reasons given are what you find on the website right now from Raz himself. The circumstances behind that we will hopefully be diving into thanks to Calvary and potentially wolffox if and when she arrives.
She'll be here soon.
So without further ado, Calvary, take us to the beginning, where it
Oh
all
boy, what a
began.
fun fucking time. Okay.
No Mod October.
Where do I even start? I remember, this is going to be a little story time. I remember when I was first brought onto the team, it was consisting of like all new staff members, because originally in No Mod October is what it's called. All the staff members left prior to that because of the decision Raz made to say no to their patch. And what their patch was a list of maps that were remade from the original maps. So like everything from like Bonfire Islands to Fitcho Tunnels, Fluorite Plains, and everything under the sun. They remade all of those maps, and Raz had told them no. And at the point that was, they ended up leaking the patch, which caused a big uproar, as you know, to be No Mod October. And after that, Raz had brought in, you know, all these new staff members, had the Halloween party. Everything was fantastic. From then on, all I can really remember is that there was a decision to be made because Raz had brought up with us the fact that, you know, the old staff want to come back and everything. And everyone was like, oh, that's cool, I guess, but they had left originally. And it was our decision. Raz had left it up to us to decide if we wanted to let them back in. And now the problem is that they weren't just asking to come back. They were asking to come back to their original positions. So like, Sura was asking to be admin. Nix was asking to be global moderator, and everyone else just piled into their original rankings. And originally, myself and others were very uncomfortable with that. Mainly because we wanted everyone to be on the same grounds, everyone be equal, have an equal voice, get to know each other kind of thing. And at the time, we had all said no to letting them back in. But I remember we had changed our minds. Most of us had changed our minds. Because
what were the circumstances behind you changing your minds?
I think it was just being naturally
morality,
apologetic.
I would say.
Like just...
Mm-hmm.
It was more of like, just being like, they were in a position where they left and now they wanted to come back, and if it were me, like, I would want to do the same thing. I would want someone to let me back. And that was sort of the reason behind why I said, okay, let's give it a try. I don't know the others, what their reasons were, but I'm sure they fell under the same lines. But once we had let them back in, that's when it all started to go a little bit downhill. Mainly because they were given their original positions. So they joined back on our terms. That's what we agreed to, is that they would join back, they would get their positions back, but it had to be on our terms. So like whatever we did, whatever we say, has to go. And once they joined back, that no longer became a thing. Like, we were no longer the voice. It was just Sura and then them, because they had experience, they had seniority over us. It was their voice now. And it's not that I had a problem with their voice, it's that I had a problem because our terms were kind of diminished and we were kind of put on the back burner, I suppose, because it was mostly them having these ideas and having all of this and saying, like like, we have already had all these ideas in the first place. We already thought of this. We just didn't get it done yet. And it kind of, like, whenever we had an idea, whenever new staff had an idea or a suggestion or anything we brought up for the community, it was always shot down. And I remember specifically a good example of that would be my thread for localization. It was the staff language panel. And I had created that with the intent because everyone was requesting localization for different languages. And I wanted the community to be more comfortable with who they could talk to and who they could direct themselves to on the forums, because not a lot of people speak English. And I wanted them to be comfortable with speaking to a staff member who could speak their native language. And when I posted this staff panel, I was retaliated against, mainly by one of the admins, because I was supposed to have asked admin permission to post it, which originally I thought was really weird, but I was kind of yelled at for posting it because I really didn't know I was supposed to ask permission just to post something where we were supposed to post. But besides that, it was just a lot of arguments back and forth. A lot of, I don't remember why, but it was just arguments for the community to kind of progress the game. And there were differing ideas all the time. New staff had their own way of progressing the game, and old staff obviously had their own way of progressing the game. Everyone had their own agendas. I can't deny that. But there was a line I had to draw where it just was not okay, because these arguments weren't professional. They were more so emotional. And what I mean by that is that a lot of the times when something would be brought up, like a topic or idea or anything, there was a lot of attitude behind the words of old staff members who did not like the idea, or just weren't comfortable with the idea, or just didn't like the person in general, specifically me. I've had lots of arguments with the old staff members, just in regards to, like, differing topics that I brought up, and they would just give me absolute attitude and just passive aggressiveness that I really didn't like. And I would always retaliate back because I really didn't like it. I don't like being stepped on, and that's how I felt in the staff room. Actually, one of the examples I can pull up is when a lot of the new staff members, when they were feeling like neglected, they felt burdened, they felt like they were the only ones getting in trouble, they felt like they were the only ones being yelled at, even though they didn't have attitudes, they were being really professional. I took it upon myself to bring up the problems of all the new staff members to the current admins, who were Sura, Ressi, and Shally. And now, I really respect these people. I can't say I don't, because they've done hard work for the game, they've done hard work for the community, but that was where my first disappointment was when I brought these concerns up. It was deemed just horrendous. Like, they couldn't believe that I was bringing these up, and they gave me attitude, and they had a problem with me bringing it up. And it kind of made me feel bad in a way, because they had always told us, like, hey, you can always come to us if you have a problem. And that's even the first problem we had, and they had a problem with us bringing up these concerns. And I just couldn't believe it. I later apologized because one of the admins really had a problem with what I had to say, and I know a few new staff members had taken swings at them just for what they said and what attitude they presented, because it was very unprofessional. And I remember apologizing, and from then on, after I had left the first time, this was after I had addressed all these concerns and everything to the admins, I wanted to come back because I thought everything would have been fine. And my second disappointment was waiting 2 weeks for a decision to be let back in, because these staff members had a personal bias against me. And I can't tell you emotionally how I felt, because it was just, Oh God, I'm gonna cry.
Oh no, don't. Please don't.
Take your time.
Yeah,
you
we
can
have
take
all
a minute.
night. You're good.
No, but no, it was just alarming to me.
Yeah, definitely.
How it impacted me was just beyond words.
Mm-hmm.
Because I waited 2 weeks to get back into a position I thought I deserved. And I had let them back with the thought that, oh, well, they'll be nice. We'll work together. It'll all be nice. And then the second I want to come back to, I was almost rejected. And I was eventually let back in after 2 weeks after I was waiting a decision because certain staff members either ignored voting or they said they knew my past, quote unquote, and that they just didn't like what I had to say or my attitude or I wasn't nice. Those were the reasons I wasn't going to be let back, but I was. Second time around, it was a lot worse. And I don't regret coming back, but I regret how long I stayed the second time. Because it was just, I felt like, what are the right words? I felt like I lost.
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt like I couldn't do anything.
Understandable.
Like I was just there. I was just like I felt like a pawn on a chess table. Like I was just doing the work and not really getting anywhere with anyone. And I really wanted, like, I don't know, I just really wanted good stuff for the community. I wanted everything to be out there. I wanted people to share, like, what we had for the community. And that was always rejected. And I really wanted to do the work for the community, but all my ideas were shot down. And day after day, it was just constant arguments. And eventually I just, like, wore myself out with just arguing with them all the time because I'd get attitude after attitude. And I remember there was this one big fight before I left. No, there were two. The one was a few months in. We were talking about something having to do with their patch and the maps. And they had brought up, I'm going to mention this because I'm going to mention it as, like, a specific example. They had brought up Buffy. They brought up Boffle, and they called her disgusting because of her map patch that she had brought up and that she was planning to bring up with the staff team. And I had defended her along with other people, saying that, like, she didn't deserve to be called disgusting because she was looking out for the good of the community. And it was just, their attitudes towards it was honestly just, I can't even find a word to describe it, but we got into a huge argument after that. I was called high and mighty by a staff member who was saying I'm no better than anyone else because I was defending Buffy, saying how I'm a hypocrite because I defended Buffy, but I'm not defending any of the other people they talk shit about, which was, like, trolls and everything that goes on in Feralheart. Buffy's not that, and I want to make that point, is that Buffy genuinely likes the community, like, she wants good for the community, and that's what I was fighting for, and I can't believe they grouped her in with the people they've talked shit about either. And I think that's what's one of the many problems, is that I didn't like them talking shit about good community members. And that's why they didn't let her back, because they didn't like her. They had a personal bias against her. I'm not going to deny that. But it was just a whole argument, and they called me high and mighty. They said I was a hypocrite. Like, that it just wasn't worth shit. And after that, I just didn't really care anymore. Like, at that point, I was just fucking done with the whole staff team and just being there. And I had planned prior, after the summer party, I was planning to leave because I just really didn't want to be there anymore. And then we had a whole staff thing go on for the map submissions that you saw on the forums, that every community member saw on the forums. We were asking for submissions. And one of my tasks was to bump the threads, and I had forgotten to bump the threads because in one of the staff calls, I was told specifically to bump the threads, and then someone else mentioned, well, why don't we just recreate the threads? And then I was confused. And after the call, I had asked the question, do we bump the threads or not? And no one had answered me. So I had forgotten about it, and in the progress of doing that, a few days later, I had bumped the threads, and I had made a layout for a newsletter. And once I made that layout, no one had responded, even though I showed the staff like several times. And eventually, after that, there was this big argument where Sura replied to my newsletter on the forums and just took swing after swing at me. And it was the worst feeling I have ever felt, because that was just the straw that broke the camel's back.
Icing on the cake.
Yeah. And oh man.
Take your time.
I can't even remember like the words that were said, but the post itself was very passive aggressive. It was very like holding like grudges against me for everything in the past. And it was just very straightforward, like, I don't like your newsletter, I'm doing this myself, fuck you, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then between that, we had all the staff had an argument over like the submissions threads and how I waited a few days. I was late. I had apologized to Raz for being late because I had forgotten, and I had asked the question, but no one answered me if I was supposed to bump the threads. But everyone was saying that they said to recreate the threads and how I was wrong and everything else, and how I should have bumped the threads. And I got upset because Sura had asked Kiki and Morgra privately to recreate the threads, not bothering to message me and saying, hey, Cal, can you like recreate or can you bump the threads? No. Instead, Sura went directly to Raz and complained about me not bumping the threads, and instead asked Morgra and Kiki privately to do it themselves, which really hurt me because it's like, that's the whole point, is communication, and that's something they don't have, is they don't know how to communicate, and that was my first problem. And that was just kind of like the ending part of like me being a staff member, is like, you guys don't know how to communicate. What the fuck is your problem? And so after that, I had, to be honest, Ito had messaged me as well, considering leaving, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna plan on doing that too. And so I had typed up a whole leaving thread, not the one you guys see publicly, but in this little staff thing we have, I had posted this thread calling every single one of them out by name and saying how they hurt me and how much bullshit I had to go through and just everything under the sun. And after that, I eventually left, and I just hoped that they would be able to relieve the tensions, be able to communicate better, be able to be professional in what they were doing. And I can see now, after all the time has passed, that that's still not presently a thing. Like, you see now, we have the feral heart's practically gone. It's almost gone if nothing's done. And the only people who I could blame is them, because I don't want to be mean about it, but like, that's just my opinion. It's their fault. Because if they had been better communicators, if they had been professional, if they weren't going after their own fucking agenda, this would have never happened. But no, they had when Alpha put that post, the priorities post on the forums, I remember some of the staff members had accused me, Ito, and Fox of being in like a group and like accusing them and trying to make them look bad, when it wasn't like that at all. And that's just like the point of defensiveness they get when they're under fire. And the only thing I have left to say is that, like, when I left that leaving thread, when I left everything, they did not give one single fuck. And I know they pretended like they did when they posted on my public thread Like I was the best moderator they had on the team. That wasn't the reality. Like, they hated me. They did not like me. And I didn't want them to pretend like they did, because that just wasn't the reality of how they treated me.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when it was brought up, my leaving thread was brought up by one of the staff members. I remember specifically Kinvu had indirectly said and admitted that they treated me horribly, and then they started playing the victim. And I hated that, because it's like, you acknowledge that you didn't like me and that you treated me so poorly, and yet you act two-faced in front of the community. But that's just me, and that's my opinion. That's how they acted. That was what went on behind the scenes.
It's almost...
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
If I'm clicking.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I apologize ahead of time if you hear my clicking. There's audio issues.
Oh, that was you?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
that was you?
Yeah,
I
that
thought
was
that was
me.
Cal, and I was like, oh, she
That
has a
was me.
nervous tick. That's fine. I'll ignore it.
Oh,
But
I'm so sorry.
anyway,
No, it's okay.
But anyways,
Anyway,
yeah. I
Cal, I
apologize.
think I can speak on behalf of everyone currently watching this stream, unless it's one of the people that you have mentioned today. I am so sorry, and I thank you so much for putting up with this for as long as you did, even though not only should you not have had to do that, you actually, just in general, you should not have done that at all.
No.
Please take care of yourself, girl. We love you. I love you.
Yeah.
All the homo, I love
All the
you.
homo.
Thank you
Kiss
so
me
much
with
for what you have
tongue,
done
I
for this
love you.
community and for trying to pave the way for good change and for basically fighting for the player base when they were being ignored. Even way back with the international board and trying to get a say out of the other staff members. Thank you so much. Your effort has not gone ignored. It's not, hopefully it won't be wasted. And
No, of course, I hope not.
even if this is the end of it, thank you for trying to make it a better place and for
Yeah.
actually improving on the problems that have been with this game since the dawn of its existence. Thank you so much.
Thank you too. Sorry, I almost cried during the entire
Oh,
thing.
no,
but
you're totally fine. It's understandable.
Absolutely. And to get another perspective in here, wolffox has been patiently waiting. wolffox, are you prepared to spill that tea?
Did
Mom?
she die?
I think her audio is disconnected instead of muting herself, because she was having an issue where the stream would automatically kick her out. But I'll tag her and I'll see in a moment. Here, wait.
wolffox, we're ready.
I'm here. Can you hear
Hi!
me?
Yep,
Yeah, we
hear
can
you.
hear you. So wolffox, tell us your perspective from the beginning if you can.
You know, honestly, I really don't want to get as detailed into it as Cal did, but the thing that I can really say is I can attest to everything.
Oh, it's a
Your
little bit
audio is
robotic.
choppy. Hold on.
Here,
Your
wait.
connection's a little fucky wucky.
Oopsie. Here, try again right now.
I'm on my phone. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, it's totally okay.
Alright, this is gonna
Is
lower
that
the audio
okay?
quality a bit, but this should make it so you can hear her.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize in advance.
Is that a little better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, as I was saying, I don't want to get into it and get super detailed. There's really nothing to get super detailed about. I can just say that I can attest to everything that Cal has said. That's exactly the way that it is behind the scenes, and there's really no professional communication. There's no, no bending, no compromise. There is essentially a few people who do what they want to do and don't really take anybody else's suggestions into consideration, which is exactly why I left.
We have a question from Mind of Mars for wolffox. Why is the current staff team corrupted? Can you give examples of their personal agenda that the others didn't agree with, or that is not No, it's allowed. It's a valid question. Cal or wolffox or anyone in here present, because I think we can all come up with examples. In all honesty,
I wouldn't necessarily say it's a little harsh. I agree, despite everything that's happened, to say they're corrupted. They are good people. Usually, most of the time.
the correct word would definitely be nepotistic.
Yes.
That would be the correct.
Right. I don't exactly want to say they're, but different
here, you're a little robotic again, but
you know,
I'd give it a little bit. Sorry, Fox. I feel bad. But like, this isn't any way, shape, or form telling people go attack them. They are people, and people should, even though they have made mistakes and whatnot, in this whole situation to begin with, it's not warranted.
Mm-hmm.
Gay Guppy has a question. How do you all feel about this situation with feralheart? In all honesty, I am not surprised. I feel that it was only a matter of time. I do believe personally that things will end up working out in the end. And although it's really a mess right now, I think everything will be okay. That's really like all I have to say on that.
And just to read out in case wolffox's audio died, the answer she has for the corruption question is, I don't want to say they are corrupt, but there's a personal agenda being pushed. They do not communicate with the rest of the staff, nor consider their opinions or input. They make decisions on their own in private. Yeah, wolffox, if that's how you want to answer from now on, this works.
Mm-hmm.
I can attest to that. One of those specific examples was the patch, the map patch that they leaked back in No Mod October, and then they brought it up recently again. Yeah, they brought it up recently again. They made no changes to it. It was basically the same patch that Raz said no to originally, and yet they brought it up again.
Mm-hmm.
And that was essentially them pushing their own agenda because they really wanted it to go through despite Raz not wanting it, for very good reason, actually.
There was another disagreement that I now have no qualms with speaking about publicly, because now I'm not going to list exact quotes, although I can if it is requested. There was a point of contention brought up in the last member of the season cycle when it was Buffy, Notorious, and alphaeclipse. Buffy brought up that there was a serious activity issue among the staff members, and she had prefaced it that she wasn't calling anyone out directly, although she had to list them in order to let them know there was a problem, but she wasn't attacking them. It wasn't a personal attempt on their life. It was just her pointing out, hey, you're not on the game as much anymore, and you haven't really listed a public LOA or whatever. What's been going on? Ito and a few of the other people from the new crew, as it's been dubbed, at least in my circle, aka the mods that came on after No Mod October, they all responded kindly and said, thank you for pointing this out. Here's where I've been gone, blah, blah, blah. I will try to fix this. And we're just very professional. The reactions that she received from the other staff members, or the old crew, aka the staff that were removed during No Mod October and then brought back on later when the new crew said, let's bring them back on board, responded very harshly. And I do think that I have to bring this up. Hold on. In the meantime, there's another answer to the basically controversial decision-making things from wolffox. The rule change as well. We voted in a change to the rules which would allow users to curse. Basically, let the kids say fuck.
Let the kids say fuck.
It was voted on 10-2 with cursing in favor. Then on a dime, they all changed their decision before it was put in place. Then it was suddenly thrown out without any input from the rest of the staff. So, but from what I had been told, I don't know how different this is, wolffox, I'm sorry if I'm leaking too much, but one of the administrators had vetoed it at first, but if they all changed their votes after the administrator vetoed... Can I name them?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay, I won't
wouldn't
name
I
them.
wouldn't.
I know who they are, though, and they know who they are as well, and I could say as I am deeply disappointed, but regardless. Now, I think I'm about to find
Your
this.
question was there. Oh.
People were asking, what is even up with Raz? What is wrong
So
with Raz?
Raz has basically been at this for 8 years, and he's kind of tired of all the furry bullshit.
Uh-huh.
That's really the best way to say it. Honestly, I would be tired too. I mean, he doesn't agree with what the community says most of the time, which is fine. I don't agree with it either. And as wolffox just said, Raz is frustrated and lacking staff members that he can trust because there have been apparent anti-Raz chat groups going around from the staff and going behind his back on things and in general just undermining him when all he wants to be is the man in the background. If you look at the official announcement that's on the Feralheart forums right now, he doesn't. I don't know what happened with him on Impressive Title because I was a fetus when Impressive Title was up.
Yeah, I was too. I can't give any room on that. I know nothing.
Yeah, but he always just wanted to be the guy that managed the server. He just wanted to be able to provide a place for this game to run. He did not want to be as hands-on involved as he has been forced to be. He is basically the quality control when this is not a role that he wanted, and he's been very vocal about it, even to me in the Mott's Discord thing or in private. And I completely understand and I kind of agree that he shouldn't be as hands-on as he is right now. Should his input be consulted occasionally? Yes, especially for something as important as the patch. But just from all the undermining going on, this is why he is reacting the way he is now. And I completely understand it, which is why I personally haven't been fighting him to bring the game back. Because if it is causing him this many issues, not just personally, but just in general, it's not worth it.
I actually said something very similar to him. I said, I respect your decision, and I truly believe you have been handed so much bullshit from so many different directions. Blah, 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 blah. I trust you will make the right decision regardless. But I sincerely hope Feralheart does not fail because of the nastiness of some.
Here, I'll,
wolffox wants to make something absolutely crystal clear that Raz deeply cares for this community. He's just tired and exhausted from dealing with it.
And how can any of us blame him?
I will restate again, I understand. I'm not gonna lie. Alpha and I were originally going to... Oh, when did we plan to leave? Like sometime last week?
Okay, well actually...
This past week?
I don't mind saying this, but, the day our Mott's title was going to run out, Buffy and I were going to leave. Until we got, that, spark of, let's just stay a little longer and see what happens. Because...
Hang on, wait.
We've just... Oh, sorry. Here, wait, I'll wait.
Oh, sorry, no, I was reading the, Okay. Raz isn't... Raz, I know, can be a bit of an asshole. That's just how he comes off naturally. And I know many of you have, seen it, just personally, on the forums. He can be an ass. And yes, he did, on the official statement he put on now, that he did do things out of spite, and it was mainly due to, the IT games. He lost his trust in the community a very long time ago, but he was still considerate enough to be at his age and have the money that he has to be keeping the server running for just all of us to be able to play. And I think that's the most respectable thing anyone could ever do, would be to be at that age, being an adult, having a full-time job, running a kid's game.
Isn't he also a dad?
Kid's game. I don't think so.
I don't think
I know
so.
he's married. I think he's married. But regardless, he has a personal life that he attends to.
I want to mention, Almighty Az, your comment. Could we possibly assume Raz is scared to pass off the game to someone else?
Yes.
I would personally say...
I wouldn't blame him.
I wouldn't blame him either.
I wouldn't blame him either.
I mentioned this in the Feral Community server, or Feral Neighborhood, whatever you want to call it.
I have a DM'd question.
Oh, wait.
On this same thing.
Oh,
it's not that Raz... It's not that Raz wants to be the owner without the responsibilities. It's more like... It's different. this position that you would have to be handing off is basically having the keys to the entire building. He is the janitor, the definition of the feralheart janitor.
He is.
And what comes with that is a lot of responsibility and a lot of permissions and a lot of ways that you could potentially fuck with the game. I mean passwords to literally everything in the database, ban permissions, revoking staff perms, everything. That is a lot of trust you have to have in someone, and in Raz's eyes, that person hasn't really popped up yet. I've recommended someone, and a bunch of people have definitely been offering to take it off of his hands. Like, I've received some messages earlier today showing people having conversations with him about it and asking if I can interview them about it, and I might be able to at the end of this. But at the same time, I'm saying don't get too hopeful, because he's gotten a lot of these over the years. People have offered thousands of dollars to buy feralheart. I learned that in the past couple days. Someone straight up offered like $1,000, $2,000 for this shitty furry game, and all I could say is rock on.
And
there is a lot of baggage that comes with the role Raz has.
Honestly,
there
I
was
think
some questions we missed.
I believe why it's so important that it's handed off to the right person is because our personal information is literally at stake. When we log on, he has our emails, our IPs, just data about our computer, how we are logging on, anything. Anything we give him is recorded, and it's securely encrypted, I'm sure, on his server. Yes, it's safe. Don't ever worry about that. But if that's handed off to the wrong person, that could be very detrimental to ourselves and the game itself. And that's another reason why updating feralheart can be a pain in the ass, because you have to think of that sort of issue. Security is very important, and it's probably one of the most important things, even way above game updates or anything.
Also, a response from wolffox concerning the "is he scared" comment. He is not afraid. You can't run a business without a proper employee base. If your staff team is a mess, then you have to micromanage it. Imagine doing that for 8 years.
Yeah.
He is a good guy, and regardless of ads, he still pays his own money to run a server. He cares, but he is definitely frustrated.
I also want to thank you guys for all of the questions pouring in right now. It's really interesting. Solar said if he's mulling over it, why not just leave it up in the meantime? I kind of get that, but I feel like this is very important in his regards. Like, I think he should just think about it on his own for a short time, maybe. Even though it kind of sucks for us because we're the ones that play the game.
He's protecting the community, though, in the process, because there's a lot having to do with the development of the game, and the forum is synced to the game. I don't know if you guys knew that, but the forum is synced to the game. He's only protecting us and the game itself by doing this, and I think a few days worth of him contemplating over what he's going to do is worth the saving the game and the community. Like, that's just my personal opinion.
I also want to mention, someone said, why is there secrecy over the source code? I ask myself that a lot, because...
Alright, I think I have an answer for that. Alright, and that actually ties into another question that I'll get to immediately after this. I can understand why they're being more secret about the source code now, because, hey, we haven't had it for 7 years, and if this gets out, someone could potentially, possibly, I don't know, use some of the code, try and read it, even though it's spaghetti.
Well, here's
it's even been said by people that looked at the GitHub version that it is completely impossible to read.
If you read if you read the thing Raz posted, he finally came clear about that. He has had it for a long time. That was very confidential.
Although I would like to point out that this was mentioned back in 2013. I'm just saying.
Just saying.
But no one existed in 2013 except for me. But that's fine.
Yep, I did.
Anyway, this ties into another question from Tyrannical. Has Raz considered keeping the source code under his wing and just talk it out with the staff team before an update or change in the game is being done if he doesn't trust the staff team? Well, that ties into something else, and I'm going to ask, I want to talk about that. You all know what I'm referring to, but if I have to dance around it, I will, and I will for now. So, Raz, while he does have the source code, so does the developer.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, I know what you're
hypothetically speaking, okay, I'll just be out and say it. The developer X Spirit likes the old
I wouldn't say
team
it.
quite a bit. And hold
Oh
on.
well.
Ah, shit.
Oh shoot.
Poop.
Anyway, X
Here.
Spirit likes the old staff team, and he is.
Stop.
What? What?
Don't say it.
I'm not saying. I'm only saying that he likes them. That's it.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Dummy. Because he does. He's friends with the old staff team.
No, I thought you were gonna say something
And because of this, if Raz does anything about the old staff, the developer might pull something with the source code. Granted, I don't think he could push anything server side, but at the same time, he could leak the source code and find someone that could, or that random someone happens upon it. It is a security risk.
See,
and that is why he has shut down the server.
At
I
that
have
point,
something to
if
say
he
as well
if
after.
he does that, if anything is leaked, I highly doubt he would. I'm just gonna say that. I don't know this guy. Whatever. Blah 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 blah. If he did that, that could be a legal issue on Kovu's part. He could fight that, and hopefully he would definitely most likely win. But yes, Kovu Windstrider asks. I thought Kovu completely left. He did.
Yes, he did.
He's not here.
Kovu is gone. Gonzo. Dead. Miami. No, X-Spirit did not close down the server. Raz did,
Raz
because
closed it
Raz
down,
is
yeah.
the server host and the server manager. He's the only one with the keys to that. It's for security concerns, even as wolffox said. Because of all the moving parts, the game is down for its own protection at the moment while Raz makes a decision as to whether feralheart stays up, goes down, or is transformed into something else. The developer is X-Spirit.
Yeah.
From Tyrannical, but if the staff team is broken, shouldn't it be better to hire new staff more carefully this time? Like, he is trusting the game too, as said right now, a staff that's messed up and kind of concerning. Well, because of what I just said about X-Spirit, that's part of the reason why, as well as, well, he tried that with No Mod October, but granted, the big issue with that is that they brought the problem right back. I am sure that the old staff are wonderful people on a personal level, but professionally, they're not. They're not good staff. They've had their chance to make this game great, and they've spoiled it. They soiled it! As a great man named Gordon Ramsay once said, you had your chance to turn this around, and you wasted it.
Here, wait. Okay. I'm just gonna be honest and upfront because this is in regards to the source code and the question that was just asked. Because the source code was originally kept secret because if you didn't know, a lot of clones of the FH source code that apparently people are saying they have, and they're trying to make new games. They're trying to make basically new games besides feralheart because they. I don't know why. It's just something that they do, something people do. And the reason the source code was kept a secret all this time was because there's a lot of, I don't know if you guys know this, there's a lot of competition. Like, we obviously have a bunch of competition when it comes to games. feralheart's an old game. I'm not gonna lie. But when it comes to the source code, we're very outdated. It's an outdated source code. It's like trying to put an engine in an old car and trying to get it to work. It's not going to work very well. And Raz does not trust the staff team, and what I mean by that is he doesn't trust them fully after they just leaked the patch in No Mod October. Like, that was just the end of the line for the trust. What I can say is that when it came to bringing new staff in, everything was great, everything was going great, everything was fantastic. And then we made the decision to bring old staff back, and that's where everything kind of went downhill.
And all of these people that are trying to make clones of the game, technically that's not necessarily, I would say, legal in Kovu's eyes, because he intended feralheart to be a closed source game for his friends. That was its intention. and he made that very clear in the past when he was on the forum. And I believe I asked staff, like an admin, about that when I came back in early January, because I was curious, like, why have we never been able to contact him? And people have tried, and he is sometimes online, certain things. And right now, I believe he's working for a game company, I've heard. I wouldn't quote me on that, I'm not sure.
And now this is something I believe we've brought up on previous streams, but I'll bring it up again because this is super relevant. Allegedly, he did make a reappearance when someone tried to completely decompile the code and basically just dive into it and copy it down and then paste it elsewhere. And while they were decompiling it, because they had made an announcement on Tumblr that they're going to completely rework feralheart as soon as they've decompiled the code that they have from the normal game, so they can remake the source code. Kovu apparently threatened them with a cease and desist. They verified it. I can't say that it was legitimate or not. Apparently he showed bits of the source code that appeared to be legitimate and proved that it was him. I will not say I trust their word on it, but this is allegedly his stance on people trying to clone it, in that he will bring the fucking hammer down. So don't try it.
I'm gonna link.
There's also the fact that it's just kind of scummy.
I'm going to link in the Twitch chat the link of the Tumblr that initially wanted to do that. It's called Feralheart Redone, and you could see what people were saying about Kovu coming in and saying, "No, you're not allowed to do this." Just like if anyone was curious on that.
I understand that Raz is an ass, and that, like, I mean, he's not. that was a poor way to word things. No, but Raz isn't innocent, and neither is the staff team. But the thing I'm saying is that Raz has always had the community's best interest in mind. While not everything was, like, able to be given to the community, and not everything the community suggested is probably the best for the game, there's also the thing where Raz has been the only one to consistently keep the server up while we were playing the game, while the staff team, they were after their own agenda. Like, that's all I can say, is that they were after their own agenda. They weren't after the community's interests.
And I do personally believe that they were good people, but I just feel they were pushing, again, their own agenda.
Yeah.
Let me see if there's any more questions we missed.
Was there from Fable?
Consideration for staff applications.
No.
No. Okay, there's a funny story with that question. So basically, from what I can tell, everyone except for the old crew were for staff applications in some way, shape, or form, but discussions of it were always shut down pretty quickly. So an actual consensus was not made, but you can bet your tiny ass cheeks that it's a no. And I disagree with that no wholeheartedly. I say no to it in return. There should definitely be a staff application process, because currently the way that the staff team has worked is that apart from the new crew for No Mod October, where it's handpicked by Raz, it is handpicked by the staff on the inside, which ties back into a word I used earlier, nepotism. Basically, they invite their friends onto it, whether they're qualified or not, and it is very arguable as to whether these people are qualified to be staff members or not. I will not dive into it personally, because I have already been caught on the mic saying, burn the old staff team to the ground, and I still stand by that.
Burn anyone, Django.
But, hold on, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, so, basically, yes, staff applications should definitely be a thing, and I hope that Raz considers it once he opens up for discussion, or once someone approaches him about it. I might even do that after this stream. Like, hey, if you do bring back the server, have you considered setting up a staff application section on the forum? And maybe in doing so, set up something else that I've been super enthusiastic and
Ban appeals!
Ban appeals!
Ban appeals!
Because currently, see.
Oh, do y'all want me to share that story of the...
Yes, I want you to share that story, please. Okay. I was about to ask.
To be mod application.
It was very recently that there was a ban on 2 people I'm not sure if they're in the stream right now, but if you are, hello. There were these two people that, well, this one person messaged me. I'm not going to like include their usernames or anything because I don't want personal information being out. But they had gotten a ban and they tried to appeal it. They had messaged me because I was still up on the staff thing. And I had mentioned to them, I was like, how long was your ban? Like, what did you do? And they showed me screenshots and everything of like the conversations and everything. And to me, like in my personal opinion, as a moderator, I'm not as experienced as the others, but I do know like it just was, their ban was too long for what they did. Like they didn't really, it was worth like a kick at most, honestly. And they were banned for 2 weeks. And I had taken it upon myself, risking my moderator abilities. I had lessened their ban to 1 week. And did I discuss it with anyone? No. But I do believe that they deserved less than what they got. And I do believe we should have ban appeals for that because there are instances where moderators can get a little bit too trigger happy with their bans.
And Zombie, I'll get to your question in a second, but going off of what Calvary has said, honestly, the ban system and how it has been set up over the years for feralheart is absolutely one-sided to where, okay, first of all, there's no set standard for banning or anything, so one moderator could just kick you for saying fucking local, another one could ban you for 5 days or even 5 weeks. There is no set standard, which is why it has always been so confusing as to what you can and cannot do, because sometimes it is just up to the whims of the moderator. Exactly. I'm going to bring up a story I told last time from Van, the creature. She had been referring to a very niche meme. She had said something in reference to like Screamy Bingus and the whatever fetus whatever thing.
Baculum.
Not just the baculum thing. We'll get to the baculum in a second. But basically, she had said "scrimmy" in local. That was the highlighted reason for her ban for like what, a month. Scrimmy is apparently a term on Urban Dictionary, which anyone who's been on the internet for more than 5 minutes knows is just a big shitposting site at this point. And it meant something concerning female genitalia, which is, you shouldn't be discussing on the game, but they didn't mean it like that because no one uses that word in that manner. But because of that one definition that no one uses, she was banned for a month and could not appeal it. And I think even got extended for adding on to it. I don't know. I've always heard that's been a thing. I think I got a ban extension way back when, but we're not going to talk about that.
Your mom.
The other ban.
We're going to talk about
Shut up, Alpha! Shut up, Alpha! Shut up!
Fine.
My mom wrote my ban appeal. She got me an extension. I blame my mother. Anyway.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I got laugh for a second. The other one that Alpha referred to was the baculum ban, as we have come to call it.
Do you want me to describe this one? Or at least
you do that one.
Okay,
you do that one, sister.
Basically, no, I believe, I'm positive I have said this in local, like as a joke, because I took Latin in high school, and one of the first words we learned, because just of how the curriculum went, was baculum. Baculum literally translates to stick, as in a tree branch, like stick. Like, I don't know. So someone apparently said that in local and was kicked. I'm not sure if they were banned by saying the message, like, of the ban message or kick message, whatever, the reason was, we know what this means, or like whatever. And I just think that's the funniest shit ever. Like, this person was literally banned for stick. Because apparently baculum is also, I'm not sure if it's slang or if it's a medical technical term, but it also is a penis bone in some animals. And is
the
used.
Penis bone.
That's literally what it is. And it's used sexually.
Also, wolffox has said that mod applications used to be a thing, and they worked very well. Not sure why it was gotten rid of, and tacking onto the ban system. There does need to be a kick and ban system in place, because currently there is none. None at all. God, dead. Never
and
here.
Apparently kicks are just warnings, so if you've ever been kicked, apparently it's a warning. So, That's a fun time.
Yes, and actually, on that, I don't remember who was the one that had said it. I just remember reading it and then also hearing it from some of you guys, where apparently some staff will use a kick as a warning and a ban as a kick, which I don't know about you, makes absolutely no sense. I mean, in all of my short time as an elite Gary's Mod staff member, that is completely bizarro to me. I have not met a single power-tripping 12-year-old mod on a Gmod server that has ever been that stupid to think that that's a thing.
Oh no, that was briefly
It's
discussed.
literally in
Yeah,
the name.
that wasn't put into effect.
It was
I believe.
discussed. It was just like it wasn't put into
I
effect.
thought someone had already been like doing that on their own though.
No.
Which I mean, with no oversight, it wouldn't shock me.
No, me and Fox had like fought it like to the brink of destruction because they were so intent on having like you give someone a kick and like you like if you were to warn someone you ban them for like 5 minutes as a warning and I'm like what we have these
That's the most retarded thing I've ever heard. Mind my language, sorry.
No, I was just like what the fuck what the fuck is wrong with you?
God.
No, that was the worst thing. I was so pissed about that. I was like, we have warnings, we have kicks, and we have bans. Do you want me to discuss all fucking 3 of them? Any last questions?
Do you know about the clone glitch? Do you feel harming the server? No, not really.
Why? Here's a question. Anon Max asks, why is it forbidden to discuss bans? I don't know. I agree. Why aren't there ban appeals?
Okay, one is a legitimate reason, and that's because it could definitely go downhill and become a fight between the person who was banned and whoever else is around. That is a potential. But that's also something you should take in stride because the whole point of an appeal is that there is a discussion open, and if it gets heated, it gets fucking heated because sometimes it's warranted or sometimes someone overreacts. Guess what? It's the internet. That happens. Calvary, did you want to take this?
What? Oh, no, I don't get it. I don't get what they were thinking because it's like there's a very viable difference between a warning, a kick, and a ban. I'm one of those moderators who, like, if you're acting up, I'm going to warn you first before I kick you, because that's just considerate of me to do. Because when you kick someone, like, they're gonna come back and they're gonna be like, "Why the fuck did you kick me?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, can't discuss kicks in local. Sorry, bye." Like, that's just the worst way to communicate. Especially when people can appeal to them. Like, what if they didn't do anything wrong and you're just pulling the trigger on something that wasn't really worth it?
Exactly. That's the whole point of... Oh, it just makes me, like, very mad. Like, it's the same thing with rules regarding non-English language on the forums. They don't... Like, people don't take the time to actually, like, look up what it means. Like, and I'm sure, like, that takes time out of your day and whatever. But it's just met with a lock. It takes a
whole 5 minutes out of your day.
It's met with a lock and a quote of the rules saying, do not use non-English language on the forum.
Which is why it has always driven me insane whenever mods on the forums would say, like, even Scallywag, love you, boo, but you're wrong in this. Where they'll say that they've never been hostile to people who are foreigners or don't speak English. Because while you might not intentionally be hostile, through your actions and your words, you have actively discouraged them from not just playing the game, but from interacting with the community at all. And that sickens me to my core, because this is a game that is based around no matter who you are, what you are, you're just a dumbass that wants to run around as an animal. Let's talk. That's it. We are here to have fun with people, regardless of their background. And this coming from one of allegedly the most accepting and fun-loving communities, this disgusts me. We've also lost wolffox because she has to go. Bye. We love you.
Bye, Fox. We love you.
Bye, Fox.
Mom.
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 Oh boy, what a fun time. Who tagged? Oh.
Other assorted fun times between my friends and I. I got kicked for saying Carlos gets banned from jokes on the Magic School Bus. That's not even a sentence. Why would you kick for that? God. That's just dumb. Kick for saying butch.
Does anyone
I had no idea that being a butch lesbian was a kickable offense.
Wait, I have a question.
What's your question?
This is really dumb. Someone mentioned that someone was banned for the username Choke Me. Was that the one I asked about? if it was
I
bannable
think
or
it
not.
might have been.
I don't know, but
I remember you mentioned that a little bit. No, I don't. It might have been Choke Me or something really similar to that.
It had to have been because I know
could have
people.
been Choke Me Daddy because I know there's a user like that.
Ooh,
Why do
this is a
people
good
make
one.
these?
This is not necessarily a question, but it's something I agree with. From Kaleidoscope Eyes. Also, I hate that mods would use things that you've said months ago against you when you try to ask what your ban is about. Well, you've said such and such a while ago, and you're problematic, so ban. Yeah, I don't like that.
Oh, we missed zombies.
Could you
question.
explain from Legendary Grace? Could you explain the rules in different?
Wait. We missed zombies question about
Oh
copyright.
shit! I'm sorry. Yes, technically, it is a violation of copyright as far as I'm aware, but at the same time, I don't really read the terms of service.
I don't know this. Don't quote me. But I do not believe Kovu gave Raz copyright of the game. I don't think that's legally
He also abandoned it though, so
see, legally that doesn't matter.
Fable, you guys talk about bannable stuff when we're forgetting. Yeah, the P signature.
Oh
Legendary
my
had a
god!
question.
You see, actually, I have an even better thing for you, Fable. Here's the thing. Not only did they have no repercussions.
Wait, I don't think we should talk too much about that.
We shouldn't talk about
No,
that.
I'm going to because it is
Django, I don't think
something
we
about the
should.
rule. Alpha, no, it's important. Because not only because sexual content is not allowed in the forums at all, or being really explicit, which is what that signature was. I'm not going to describe what it was. We all saw it. If you saw it, you know what I'm talking about.
I do know what
Someone did confront them about it, but because the claim, the justification for it was that because it's anatomically correct and that's just your dirty mind putting a connotation to it. My favorite comeback to that response was, yes, my dog also smiles suggestively when he pees. I read that sentence with my own two eyes.
Oh, Jacob.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'm gonna answer this question. Could you explain the roles and different tasks of each staff member had, like the permissions and things? I can't explicitly talk about the permissions because that's not something you're supposed to really do. But for each staff member, it was kind of like you shared forum and in-game like moderation abilities. Like on the forum, like you obviously see things that could be locked or moved or anything like that. Like that's the forum abilities. And then in-game abilities, you already know people get kicked, they get banned, whatnot. We all share the same like abilities. It's just that administrators have more powers than moderators, and global moderators have more powers in forum than moderators do, and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
There was a team system set up, but as far as I'm aware, that's being undone because there's not that many staff members. I think I can say that publicly because I think it was brought up in the staff section of the forum.
It's not even because of the lack of staff members. It's just the staff team fucking thing never worked, and no one ever listened to me when I said, "Oh, it's not going to work."
They assigned people via RNG instead of their talents or their strengths or what they were willing to work on. It was really underwhelming. Here's a question from Birdie Beep. Is no one in charge of the staff team? Is there no head admin anymore? Well, I mean, technically, I guess.
Well,
I don't know.
I can explain that because originally Raz explained this to me a long time ago, and there's a reason that you guys remember when Red was like the head admin, like you'd see he was basically the face of feralheart, and he was essentially like a head admin, but there's no really like quote unquote head admin. There's just the server master, there's administrators, there's global moderators, and then there's moderators, and then there's moderators in training. We don't really have like a head admin, there's just administrators.
Did you guys see the this is from Violet Cyrodiil. Love your name, by the way.
It is pretty.
Did you guys see the Tumblr post saying that the alleged cease and desist on Feralheart redone was done by an impersonator? Yeah, I believe that. Which is why I said I don't trust it.
Yeah.
Because it was also from the heyday of Feralheart blogging, in which anyone could make up anything for any reason. It would be the hottest scandal. Now from Charlie Beetle. If you don't mind me asking, if you all had the power, what are a list of changes you'd make to the staff rules, etc.? I will speak last.
You don't mind
What?
power of...
Wait, what was the question?
List of changes I would make to staff rules, etc. Well, I think one of my biggest things I've always pushed is I believe there should be a list of words that are and are not allowed and the severity of each one so staff are consistent through their bans and kicks. Because it drives me up the fucking wall when people are not consistent on a staff team. I think that is one of the most important things, and it earns you respect from your game. It shows that there's no biasm or whatever you want to call it. I think that's one of my biggest things. And besides that, changes I'd make to the staff, I honestly am not sure. I personally think there should be a staff application, and people who become staff should be active in game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is it my turn?
Yep. Sorry.
Yeah, what changes would you make?
Oh god, there's a lot. First thing, a forum needs to be redone. I don't care how long it takes, what it takes. It was nice back then when it was like old and like had cool icons and everything like that, but now it just looks like shit. But I'd fix the forum. I'd have people who I'd have teams specifically set up for like forum management, game management, development, like everything like that.
I completely agree. I would do the same thing.
Yeah, there's no way like you can have like a whole. We had 14 people on the staff team, and not one of them could do work on the forums because like everyone was a moderator. One of the admins didn't know how to work the forums. I'm not going to say who. You probably should know who.
Oh god.
But no, we need forum work. We need in-game work. We need people who are active on in-game. We need, like Alpha said, we need like some sort of structure for like our kicks and bans because obviously it's not fucking working. And overall, I think like in ways to progress the game, if I could make changes to like the game, I wouldn't include Prey like in like how they have in IT because that's kind of like generic and obviously Kovu didn't include that in feralheart for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd include stuff like, you know, like quests or like NPCs or the ability to pick something up or like more customization to a character. And then like more customizations to the maps, like have new biomes like jungles, like fantasy maps and all that other stuff.
Could I just comment on something you said about separate teams for each of the staff? I made a thread on a part of the forum that only staff and mods can see. It's called like the staff channel or whatever it is. I made a thing about separating members into different teams so that like there would be people who are like the graphic designers and people who are the developers and like and whatnot basically. Not many people took kindly to that. People believed that people shouldn't be restricted to a team. But my argument against that was why not make them on two teams or let them switch teams whenever they want.
That's kind of ironic considering they had originally split up the staff team for that very same purpose, and that in cycles, one team would work on the patch and the other work on forum stuff, and then they'd switch off every few. Why would they? This is something that's always weirded me out, and I don't remember if Cal. Actually, no, she did bring up on the whole like language board stuff and bringing mods in and having them be in a more hands-on role. Most of them were against it until they were yelled at to be for it, is basically what I see from the staff team, and it confuses the hell out of me. Now, quickly, Alpha, if you were done.
Oh yeah, I'm done. You can go on.
Basically, I have a very simple set of demands.
What?
Remove any staff member that bullied Mom. They're all gone. They're not allowed to be here. Burn them to the ground. Get rid of it. And then just go from there. Because really, the people that harassed Calvary and wolffox, Ito, Pocket, all the new crew, they need to go because they are in the way of progress for this community. And at this point, I don't negotiate with terrorists.
I don't negotiate.
What about? All right, now hold on. All right, now quickly move on to other questions. What was the initial purpose of the 1.17 patch and who was involved? Which one was that again?
What fucking
1.117 was the most recent.
Oh, that
basically,
that was all...
source code works, and that was them showing it off.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
it.
much it.
Raz and Spirit. That's
what about the
basically just
login?
them.
Wasn't that a part of the big issue as well? What do you mean the login?
The login page, that was from a security issue, and yeah, I think
that
because I don't think that's going to go away even if feralheart comes back, unless there's a workaround that can be made with the source code now for security reasons. And if
let's pray there is.
Actually, I didn't even consider that. They could beef up security because they have the source code now, I think.
Well, Raz needed the source code. He needed it to run the server to begin with.
The update was supposedly a good thing. The reason
I mean like a source code they can edit now. You know.
Sorry, I was interrupting.
No, Cal, you got. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's not your fault. He shut things down today, even though the update was a really good thing. It was a really good thing for feralheart. It was a very big step forward. He shut it down because I'm not going to get into the details, but like something happened with like staff team and the developer, and now Raz is stuck in a bit of a pickle. And he's basically what he's trying to do is protect Kovu's work, and he's trying to protect the community from like anything happening to the game.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
From Mind of Mars. What about General Chat? Why won't it be back?
Oh, can I say something on this?
You can.
Okay,
you can.
So I was talking to Raz probably a week ago. I believe a week or two, and I mentioned something about General Chat, and I won't mention too much, but I do want it back. I will push till the end of feralheart for General Chat. I thought General Chat helped so much. I want it back. I agree with you. A lot of staff do as well. The thing is, Raz believes it can be remade into something better. He doesn't. Well, I don't exactly know what, but I do believe. Hopefully, eventually, something will take General Chat's place if it isn't General Chat itself. Because as of right now, any messages sent in General Chat are just... They're not gone through the server. They don't get sent to anyone else. So that's my comment.
Old staff members were allowed because we allowed them in because it was a thing. They left, but it was more so like they wanted to come back, and it was like, well, how bad could it be, sort of thing. And so we allowed them to come back. That's your answer.
Rustheart asks, why was General Chat removed in the first place?
I have the answer. Can I do it, please?
Oh my god.
Please. Okay, so General Chat way back when. Now this is from Sura's post and from my own research into basically that era of the forums. Basically, General Chat had been removed because it was used too much, and apparently that was a bad thing. Honestly, that is genuinely the reason as to why it was removed, is because people used it actively and staff had to remain on top of it, and they were feeling overwhelmed because they felt like they had to be attached to the hip to it. And thusly, because it could be abused and was abused in some regard, it was shut down.
I just have
the means that happened was that only a few staff members were were in the know on General Chat being removed, and then once it was done, they got the other staff members that had been left in the dark to just roll around and agree with it. Otherwise, they would ruin the unified image of the staff team. This is a bit This is from Van. This is a bit spicy, but it's something I'm always thinking about. What about the shadow mod problem? As in ex-mods who are allowed to keep their privileges despite formally leaving the team. That never felt fair and has led to direct abuse in-game.
Oh, like me.
Yeah, so basically, the only person who can remove perms is Raz. And he just hasn't done it. Unless the person was demoted for abuse of power, like, I think one or two people. I know one confirmed, but I think a second. Possibly more from before I got here. That's the only reason they'll lose their permissions.
I'm gonna tell you, the only
go.
people who lose their permissions are the people who get fired.
Basically.
Yeah.
Now, I personally am against having this shadow mod issue, even though that would mean Sweet Cal loses her perms.
Goodbye. Just kidding.
Because
Bye, Cal.
if you leave the team, you are no longer you're no longer on the job, so you do not get to reap the benefits or the rewards from having that job. It might be a volunteer position, but it'd be like let's say I volunteer at the blood center, so I can walk around in the back and I can get snacks and all that stuff. If I don't volunteer there, I shouldn't be allowed to walk around like I own the place, even if I used to or not, because I no longer have that right. I gave it up when I stopped volunteering at the blood center.
Here, really quickly, Calvary has to go in a little bit, so just a heads up in case she leaves. And Weevil Worship asks, why would Raz shut things down today if the update was supposedly a good thing for the community? Is he hiding something? Does he have a bigger
I already
plan?
answered that.
We technically, we already answered that kind of. Basically what it is it's not necessarily because of the update, it's because of tension within the staff and just pettiness, basically. He was very fed up, essentially. It's not because of the update being good, or like there being bugs and stuff. That's not why. I am positive.
He just wants to keep us safe, is all he...
Also, someone asks, didn't Kovu give copyrights to Raz? Someone mentioned this earlier, and I forget if I answered it or not, but I highly doubt it, because there would have to be a legal measure done if he wanted to actually give copyright to him. He probably just gave him the source code, which is understandable, and it's an easy way to manage it. What would happen if Kovu came back and approved these ideas?
Well, then he comes back and approves the ideas.
That's pretty much it. I guess he would hopefully push things to get updated more often, or even help out with the game. But that's in a perfect world. Right now.
All right. This is a big question that I tried to discourage this earlier when I saw it in the feralheart neighborhood earlier. This is a question from Aseru. What if feralheart did take donations or at a shop for merch of some sort? Would the funds made there be contributed to the development server maintenance? Alright, I am about to violate a rule. You're not supposed to discuss finances with feralheart, but since feralheart no longer exists, I can say it. He doesn't need to. The ads that the forum makes are enough to cover server maintenance, security, and whatever they use for their website. Do not give money. They do not need it, and yes, it would be a breach of copyright at that point, because you are not allowed to have feralheart merchandise, as you do not legally own the right to feralheart. Making presets is one thing, but that is an entirely different can of worms, and I think that would actually bring Kovu back in a terrible, terrible way.
Yeah, I agree.
There's also something to do with the Ogre engine not being allowed to make money off stuff made on.
Yeah,
that could be true.
That's another big issue. A lot of feralheart's original content, like even the music, for example, which was replaced, that was copyrighted. The Ogre engine is open source. I don't believe he can make money off of that. Just other little things that you wouldn't really think about. Like, we don't necessarily know. I don't know if they are. The textures of the game, like the rocks and things, I don't know if they were made by an artist specifically for the game, or if they were bought or whatever, attained through a third-party source. Oh, and I'm sorry, Aim. Poor Aim is chilling out while she's at work listening. Sorry.
Question from White Fang. Do you guys want the source released if feralheart does shut down?
No, I do not want it.
I say no. Sorry.
I say no either, because I don't want to see...
I don't want it to be like IT. Sorry.
I hate IT. I'm sorry, I do.
I used to be kind of for it back when I was in my impressive title phase, but also seeing as how all of them have ended up, I don't care if it's closed, I don't care if it's open, I just don't like the idea of the source code being out there.
That might be an unpopular opinion, that we don't want it released, but I personally, for personal reasons, I just don't like impressive title. I don't like open source programs necessarily, like games. As much as it's nice, like as nice as it is to actually edit them for yourself and add new updates and things, I just think it ruins the actual game itself.
Kovu made IT and then he made Feralheart. So there's a reason there's two different games, and there's a reason he opened the code for IT and not.
Quick clarifications for such a drag. That was me being facetious. I'm sorry, I slipped out. Technically it is shut down. It's just temporary though, as far as we know. There has been no official confirmation as to whether or not it will be shut down forever.
Yeah, we have no idea. Don't take that literally.
What was in the unreleased 1.16 patch?
I can tell him. I can tell him.
What was in it? I'm curious.
In the patch, in that 1.16 patch that wasn't allowed to be posted, mind you, it was a remake of all the old maps. So like Fluorite Plains, Fitcher Tunnels, Bonfire Islands. They replaced every single map and they remade them. But I saw the patch myself. Like, my personal opinion, it's worth a 5-minute nostalgia trip and then you're done. Like, that's all it is. Like, it's nothing special. It's just the old maps, but they're recreated. Fluorite Plains looks kind of dead because they remade it into a desert and it looked kind of ugly. Not gonna lie, they put Temple of Dreams inside Fluorite Plains, which I did not like. But it was
stinky.
I just didn't like it.
From Legendary Grace. Could you discuss your opinions on Raz's options from the latest website update? Which option do you believe is best, or what do you believe should be done?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is a good question.
Who goes first?
I'll go last, because my throat is dying.
You're good. I personally... This one's tricky because I do want him to pick what he feels is best. I personally think he should stick with what makes him the most happy. But on my side, I love feralheart and I like the game. So of course I'm going to be biased towards keeping it. So that's really all I can say. I do believe he should keep running it, but I totally understand if he doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Options. Sorry, I'm reading them again.
Yeah, I didn't even read them all. Like, right now, I just am using my memory, so I apologize.
I am as well, because I can't currently access the screenshot, but... I'm sorry, I'm not speaking last.
It's okay.
But
No,
I personally, I agree with Alpha. Ideally, get Spirit to not possibly do a big bad with the source code. And just keep him secure as a developer, because he's a talented kid. I'll give him that. He can read the spaghetti code that Kovu made. He might as well be Jesus.
He is Jesus.
However,
sorry if you guys just heard that motorcycle.
feralheart has been around for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
It has had its run. It has had its prime a couple times. It has had some highs and lows. If it's time for it to go, I'm okay with that. I've been here since March of 2013, and I'm okay with outliving it. Let it out to pasture.
Oh god. Oh, sorry. I was reading the options again.
What's y'all's beef with impressive title in the community from Charlie Beetle? It's incredible. Most of my bad experiences from Kiddo or keep impressive title open. There's just so much unnecessary drama that goes on there around items and rushes. It's just a mess, and I don't personally like it. It's a taste thing, I guess.
Yeah, I agree.
And as Feverish said, I also feel bad for the kids who just started playing, because if it goes down now, well, you kind of do miss your chance on these things, and it's really unfortunate.
If there are no requirements for staff, have there been any bad staff choices in tenure? Oh boy.
Some stuff might not be able to be said, so just keep that in mind.
Specifically for, like, myself, or, like, for other staff members? Like, am I... Because, I mean, there are requirements for staff members. They're just, like, kind of, like, unsaid, unspoken things. But I personally have never made any personally bad choices except for my attitude, and that's all I can say.
See, that's just human, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh god, I don't know how to say it. Izaru? I apologize if I'm butchering your name. Isaru, okay.
Isaru, yeah.
If Feral Heart shuts down, what do we do? Try to make a new game that's different from Feral Heart entirely, or simply give up? I, in all honesty, if Feral Heart shuts down, I don't think anything will come more of it. I personally don't know if I will stick around for another coming of Feral Heart. I would be very upset, I'm not going to lie, but I do not believe that people will actually make a new game that's different and stick around. Like, people are here for Feral Heart. I don't think people are going to be satisfied with another game.
It's the childhood memories that kind of keeps everyone coming back. Like, there's friends there, you've made friends, you've made groups, you've made memories, you've made good things. A lot of people come back for that. It's not just for the gameplay.
It's for the people.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's what matters. Which is why I'm, in a sick way, I'm kind of glad that Feral Heart shut down, just because it brought everyone flocking to the Discord and just talking with one another and going to show that even without the game, there's still a community. There's still people worth being around and talking to, and that means the most to me, honestly.
Yeah.
That's why I've been coming back so often, and why I have left as well. Because of the community, through its ups and downs, all of its problems and all of its shiny bits. It's the people that matter. And I think that the staff team should also reflect that, because the priority for a place like Feral Heart should be the people. Kakuin says, if Feral Heart is gone, where are we going to see our favorite tough puppy fam? Will we be forced to use Dragon's Den? By golly, if you get the one Dragon's Den, I will be so proud of you.
Oh my god, that
tab?
comment, I can't. Can y'all discuss what the activities tab was supposed to do? I honestly have no idea.
What? I don't know.
What?
I have no idea.
Where? When?
In game right now. The newest update. It's like that activities tab on parties. I have no idea.
Oh fuck! I deleted the game.
No one knows. No one's told. Anyway, Amber's a cow. Not sure if this question was answered before, as I only just joined recently, but how is the source code obtained? If you can't answer that, if you guys at least have permission, this is a genuine concern to me. No one knows.
No one knows.
Raz had his copy, but I don't know if they're using his. Repost from Isaru. If we band it together, could we save Feral Heart?
Maybe.
Possibly. Do you guys have any ideas on how to go about it? If so, it's just a waiting game. Show you have interest in the game. Don't harass Raz, but at least just be there.
Just be there. Just wait. Just be patient. Because you never know what's going to come out of it. What are y'all's plans for the future if FH shuts down? Do you have any particular plans for going to other games? I personally don't. I'm going to keep the Discord server up. I passed permissions to Alpha, but I want that Discord server to stay up mainly to keep the community involved.
Definitely. I'll keep the server up.
Yeah.
We can all ask out Raz.
We can all ask out Raz.
I'm going to seduce Razmirs.
When will the people get their chance to speak? That is me. I'm the people.
Alright,
still impatient. Okay, I'm gonna leave now.
Okay, that's fine.
Love you, Calvary. Thank you so much for being here and speaking.
Okay.
We
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank
it
you
so much.
Thank you guys.
Not a Heretic asks, when will people get their chance to speak? I don't know.
Just let him in. You know why he's here. You know why he's
Not a Heretic. Do your thing.
Would you like to buy my wait, fuck! That's not my line this time! Okay, here we go. Hey there, do you know about Twitch Prime? Oh, you might be asking, what's Twitch Prime? Let me tell you, when you connect your Amazon account to your Twitch account, you can get one free sub to any streamer on Twitch every month. A Twitch Prime subscription functions just like a normal sub, with the streamer getting $4.99. Along with that, get yourself some Twitch loot. With Twitch Loot, you can go ahead and get yourself some exclusive Twitch gear and your favorite games. And until July 30th, you can get yourself some Fortnite skins with Twitch Loot. So go ahead, grab your Amazon account, grab a family or friend's Amazon Prime account, and link it to your Twitch account today.
Thank you, Heretic. We heavily appreciate your advertisement. There's
Also,
a
if
reason.
people keep posting non-questions and questions, I'm actually going to find you and make you OD on Crocodile.
Love you, Heretic.
Bye,
Thank you,
Heretic.
Montreal. Bye-bye. Alright, Pocket Musk has Pocket Musk. Pocket Mutt has a question. If Ratu wore khakis, would he wear them like this or this? And
I
it's
would
a
say
picture
the
of
second one.
four-legged jeans and two-legged jeans, and all I can say is that I hate you.
I heavily believe the second one would be more appropriate. Here, we can start letting people in the call, honestly.
Okay, before you don't move anyone yet.
Oh.
How you join into call-in to give your 2 cents directly over voice is you go into the waiting room and wait. That's
Okay.
it.
Yep,
If
that's
you're in
pretty
the
much
if you're in discuss/watch party, you will not be moved.
Yes, only the waiting room gets moved. Okay, so let's start.
Wait privilege.
Oh god, there's a lot of people joining. Okay.
Oh, help.
I personally saw Gay Guppy first, but I'm not sure. I'll just move them. Hi! Hi, Gay Guppy.
Hello, welcome
How
to
are
the Feral
you?
Cat.
Crap, I forgot what I was gonna say.
It's okay. You're
Honestly-
totally
Honestly, crap.
You're
I
totally
just
fine.
had-
You're totally fine. If you want, we can move you back so you could, like, think about it. Oh my god, everyone is joining the waiting room. I'm gonna shit.
You know what? Just move me back a second.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, you're totally good.
That's all good.
Oh. Hello!
Oh, frick. Hi.
Hi.
What's up?
What's up? Nothing.
Not
We're
much.
just
What
chilling.
brings you to the Feral Cast?
Tea. No, I'm
Tea.
kidding.
Tea.
No, I'm here for, information. You know,
Totally
I was
understandable.
Information on what?
I was wondering what was up today. I had no idea. I woke up, I tried to get on feralheart, and it wouldn't let me, so I was like, what the heck?
That's
So I looked around, I jumped in a few different discords, and I managed to find my way here. And, hi.
That's really funny because last night I was actually at a party when I saw everything that was happening, and I had no idea the site was shut down or anything. All I saw was in feral community was arguing, and I was like, oh my god, what do I do? Like, what? I had no idea what was happening. I was in public. I was literally in a bathing suit.
Where were you when Feral Heart shut down?
I was asleep.
Taking a shit, probably.
Taking a shit. Oh my god. Do you want to just move someone else in here? Like, we could just keep moving them in? Or should we, like, go back and forth?
We'll
Yes.
do it one at a time. We're doing it one at a time.
Party.
I'm not getting over.
Okay,
Oh, never
yeah.
mind.
Okay.
No party. Sad face.
But do you have any like questions or concerns or opinions on what's been going on?
I just want feralheart to come back. I miss it. I love it, and if I can help out to bring it back, I want to do that.
Mm-hmm. I really hope
You know
Raz
what?
is
I
listening
think-
to this.
I'm definitely gonna be forwarding like the VOD of this in the staff chat.
I believe he listened to this last time,
He
didn't he?
listened to the last one because he let us use the official Feral Heart one when we had problems.
Yeah.
Thank you, Raz.
Thanks,
So, yeah.
Raz.
But thank you,
Yeah,
Asaru, for
thanks.
calling in. I'll
Thank you.
definitely let him know about your interest
Okay.
in the server host stuff.
Definitely.
Thanks.
Okay.
I don't know how to host servers, but if you need
Oh, yeah, you're
moral
okay.
support and someone to cheer you on, I
Aw,
can do that.
thank you. That means so much. Oh, thank you. Okay,
Oh, you're welcome.
who should we move in next? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Alright. Thank
Bye.
you, Asaru.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I will start from the bottom up. I'll go wolf and
Yeah,
feline.
you just move them in. I'm on my
Okay.
phone. I can't do
Oh,
this
oh,
shit.
you can't. Okay, that's fine. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. I hope
Wolf
they can
and
hear us.
Feline, welcome to the Feral Cast. Are you there?
Oh, hi.
Hi. How are you?
Hi. Hi, good. How are you?
I'm good. Tired. Do you have any questions or anything?
Hi.
Any
Yeah, can you hear
concerns?
me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Hi.
Here, I'll turn your volume up.
I'm in Arizona and like my
Oh crap. Oh my god.
Did you just?
No.
What did you do?
No, I tried to turn her up so people can hear. Please join back.
What
I
did
feel
you
so
do?
bad. Here, wait.
Did you disconnect them or move them?
No, I didn't disconnect them or move them. You know, like that glitch we have where people, like, when you try to fix their volume or if they go on mute, they get kicked out? That's just what happened. Here, in the
What
meantime...
the hell is wrong with this chat?
I am so sorry. That
Sorry,
was a technical
Wolf.
difficulty. Continue. I heard you were in Arizona and then you got kicked.
Sorry.
I apologize.
I'm back.
Hello. Oh, they'll be right back. So, Van, hello. I don't know if they'll...
I'm Van.
Hi, you're good.
Hi, I'm Van. I just want to take like 2 seconds to say that I formally apologize to Calvary because listening to her made me really fucking sad.
Oh. She
I
will
was,
hear this.
I was a dick to her.
I
just want to take like 2 seconds to say that I formally apologize.
Oh my god, it's replaying. That's so funny.
Oh, it's me.
Oh, that's me.
Oh, it's me. But thank you so much. She will hear this, I promise you. Or I'll tell her personally what you said.
Vask, stop putting non-questions in questions!
God. Here, I'll add someone else. Violet Cyrodiil. They're on there.
Hello?
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. How are you?
Nice to meet y'all too. I'm good. How about y'all?
I'm good. It's a party in here.
1 sec, sorry.
Oh no, you're okay. Take your time.
Y'all aren't gonna believe this. I just put a chocolate coin in my mouth and forgot the other half of the wrapper.
Proud of you.
I've done that.
Anyway.
So what brings you to the Feralcast?
Well, honestly, it was all this lovely tea that went down.
Yep. I don't blame you. I felt...
I think I was actually one of the first people to alert everyone, like, hey, it's up. What the hell is going on?
Yeah. I don't blame you. I'm happy we did this today. I think it's really important that people know what the hell is happening. And even though some of the stuff we said probably was questionable, I think in the end it's for the best.
I do want to say something about, like, the whole shitstorm that went down earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly became a little more sad at the big divide that was created, rather than Raz's. I'm just gonna say I have no beef with the man as a person. I just feel like a lot of decisions were poorly executed, but it's already happened.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to say everyone needs to kind of quit going after each camp, the supporters and the haters, and we need to try to band together in the interest of keeping, like, not necessarily the whole community, but yeah, the game and the community, because to me it's always been about the creativity and the community over everything.
And it's the same thing with staff. Like, the whole point of being staff is to make the community better and to moderate. So why not do that? Like, I don't understand what's the problem in actually trying to remediate issues and help each other. That's essentially the whole purpose of this Feralcast.
Well, see, I noticed when it started that I was hearing that. Hang on, sorry.
Oh no, you're okay.
I was noticing that when Calvary was talking, that there was a lot. I was hearing a lot of. Issues where there was no compromise. Now, that being said, I don't know the full story, but it seemed pretty telling that there was just no compromise on the staff team, almost none.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, that's what's bothered me the most.
I agree. I think.
But I did write down a quick question, and somebody already asked this. I think it was Isru, but and I don't know if y'all answered this already when I was up temporarily.
Totally
do you have any clue as to what option Raz might go for, just from y'all's opinion.
All I can say is he's probably not leading towards a shut.
Yeah, I agree. That's
not leading toward what?
A shutdown. I don't think Feralheart's going to die.
I was just wanting to get y'all's opinion on that because it's been, I'm not gonna lie,
stressful.
There's been really, yeah, exactly.
It's been pretty rough, I know. I agree. And I don't blame any of you for being nervous or
I do want to say that, I just do want to say real quick again on the community side of things,
yeah, take your time. You're fine.
I blanked. This will be my last bit, I promise.
No, you're okay. Take your time.
Okay, I do want to say, it didn't see. I know that the staff have been like, some staff members have been coming in and trying to let a lot of hate off of Raz. I do want to say that it's kind of hard to feel it, and then, trust me, I have a hard time with this, but
yeah,
it's kind of hard to forgive a person who has done, like, he has done a lot for us running the server for 8 years. But some of the things he's pulled, and I am going to admit, I haven't been super active in the community over the years. And I don't know all the ins and outs, but just some things I've seen on the surface level just do not seem very, it seems really telling.
It is very valid that you think that, and I used to be in that exact same mindset, and I still slip into it every now and again. The only thing that has changed that is because Raz has directly approached me, and I have directly approached Raz in talking it out and asking questions.
Talking to him
Most people don't get that opportunity, so his public image doesn't.
Definitely.
That's my only concern, is not, while there's a lot of staff members coming in to defend him, a lot of people do not know him personally and haven't seen him super actively.
And I think that's very important. Like, you have to realize that the community, like, that's all they see. They don't, it's none of our jobs to speak to him. He's the server master, and his job is not getting the community together. That, if anything, that's the staff or the community itself. I don't blame him for being harsh. I don't blame him. I understand it, even though it's not really good in a community sense. It's not really his worry, if that makes sense.
And I do understand. I just think that too, like, especially with some of the things that have happened in the past, especially when he's the one running the server and all that, I feel like more transparency would have been, I think it would have helped a lot in the long run.
Totally agree. That's the whole reason I made that priorities thread on the forum, which I would link, but the forum is down, obviously.
No one can see the wall of Jotaro anymore.
Alright, I'm gonna let someone else do it. Thank y'all so much for letting me come in and talk. Thank y'all. This has been, I'm gonna admit, I've been a little stressed out and irritable this morning, but
totally okay.
I feel like y'all have done a pretty good job of trying to keep it under wraps.
Thank you so much. That means a lot.
Hey, y'all doing good work. Keep it up.
Thank you. We'll hopefully have another cast shortly. I'm sure we will.
Hey, I'll look forward to it. Good luck, y'all.
Okay, thank you so much. Here, I'll move you back right now.
No problem. Thank you. All right, see ya.
See ya. Wolf and Feline. Hello. Oh, wait. Oh my god, I kicked them. Pocketmutt is in here. One of our fellow feral casts. Hello.
Pocketmutt hasn't been seen since episode 1.
Hello.
No, I think they were in episode 2. Here, I'm gonna add Wolf and Feline. Hello.
1 second, y'all. I gotta get my friend to turn on her thing.
That's okay. Take your time.
So the connectivity isn't.
Believe me, like, people are scared, like, they're having, like, problems, like, with their audio and stuff before this whole feral cast. I had so many issues.
Yeah, you got a lot of issues.
I do have a lot of issues. You do too, though, so don't come at me.
Oh, yeah.
What, Mary? Oh, cute. Alright, sorry.
You're good.
So, that's my friend. I'm just kind of, I don't know, I'm sad, but I'm worried, but I also don't know what to feel because,
Oh my god, it keeps kicking them. I feel so bad.
I think I know what the issue is.
Oh no,
Turn off the priority speaker.
The what?
Priority speaker.
Oh. Wait, let me... Oh, boy. Let me... I think only you can do that. Let's see.
How do you use Discord again?
It would be in Feralcast settings, server settings, and then probably around,
Anyway, while we're trying to
roles.
deal with this technical difficulty, pull someone else in. We'll
Yeah,
get to you,
here,
Wolf.
we'll be right back. I'm so sorry. Here, we'll pull Vask
Da,
in.
da, 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 da.
You should try switching your rendering systems and
Shut
turning
the
off
fuck
water
up.
reflections.
Pocketmutt, no one fucking likes
That's
you.
like 900 of my posts on the forum. Not gonna lie.
It is.
Vask is being dumb and doesn't realize they're in here. Dummy.
Vask!
Dummy. Oh my god. Here, we'll just pull someone
So
else.
it turns out no one has priority speaker. Well,
What?
Hi, Vask.
Hello?
so it turns out.
Hi, Vask.
Hi,
Oh,
fuck
I
you.
hear myself.
Fuck you too, asshole.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'll fucking punt you into the sun.
Hi, Ringo. You're in here.
Ringo!
Oh my god, I'm in here. Oh my god, I wasn't expecting to be up next.
No, you're okay. Sorry, we're just kind of going in a
Hello,
random
Ringo
order.
Kyoko.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
What brings you to the Feralcast?
Welcome.
Alright. I am here today, like everyone else, for all the tea, because I am a hot goss kind of girl. I just love hearing it all go down and watching it. As a former staff member from long, long ago is really interesting. I think it gives me an interesting perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I was staff from almost feralheart launch, basically 2 months after, until about 2013 when I left of my own accord because I was in college and I really knew that I wasn't as active as I needed to be to consider myself a mod. So I was just like, you know what, I'm not, like, I can't just stay a mod to just be able to read all of the stuff in, the forums that mods have access to. So I left of my own accord, and then I just kind of abandoned feralheart completely until recently, until I started reconnecting with all of you.
Yay!
Because you're all so awesome. So watching
I
all the
hate you and never speak
go
to you.
down. What?
Django
You
said.
smell funny.
Oh wait.
I do smell funny. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But watching this all go down has been very interesting. I mean, like I said earlier today, I am very surprised and impressed that Rez apologized for everything and said that he regretted stuff. That was not something I ever expected out of him, and honestly tells me like a lot. And also that having been away from the game for so long and coming back to see it as it is now, it's just like, oh man, this is a different game than the one that I left in 2013. And it's kind of sad, and I do want to see it grow. I do still have a lot of nostalgia for this whole game, but I'm much older now than when I was, when I left. I was a new college student. Now I'm an adult with a real life job who's turning 25 in 2 weeks. And
we got an oldie.
I'm so old.
We got an oldie.
I am an oldie, turning 25 in 2 weeks. My birthday's in 2 weeks, just so everyone knows. My birthday is in 2 weeks on the 26th.
Well, you know what, Ringo?
We're gonna spam.
Now you're not getting a praise thread.
I can hear your arthritis.
You don't get a birthday praise thread, because I also didn't get one.
I'm sorry, okay?
That's fine. The forums are gone. You can't take it back. Anyway, we're getting off track.
Yeah, we
yeah.
You got any questions or comments and stuff?
There was a point to my whole pointing out how old I am. It's just like actually working in a real workforce where there's like similar, like, obviously working on Feralheart and working in a job is different, but the levels of organization are actually very similar. And if Feralheart does come back, there needs to be a whole complete restructuring and protocol and rules that just somebody needs to sit down and fucking write.
Agreed.
Because even back when I was a mod, there was no standard about how long you were supposed to ban somebody for something. You would just, when you were a new mod, you would ask, like, how long do I ban someone for saying fuck? And whoever you asked, that was what you did.
See, that makes me so mad. Like, oh, that like irks me really badly.
Yeah, so
it just seems
that's
common
been a
sense.
shitty problem from the beginning.
Oh God,
And yeah, it's just like when you're at it for so long, you also like kind of stop caring a little bit, which I know is what's doing at the end. I really didn't care as much anymore, which is also why I left. And because I could see it, I was just like, oh, this is fuck, I'll ban them, whatever. I don't give a shit. So that's why I left. And so I can see that happening with these old staff that are still going around. It's just, you've been at it too long. You just gotta go. You just gotta go sometimes, man.
Yeah, I agree.
You just stop caring because it's been there too long.
And that's okay. That's natural. Like, it's totally understandable.
Yeah, you're allowed to, like, not care about it anymore. You just move on, and that's fine.
Like, don't hang on if you're only killing it.
Yeah, and I knew that was what I was starting to do, so that's why I left. And I think these old staff just need to like, relax and just, it's okay to just move on from it and do your rest of your life.
That's exactly
what I did. Answering a quick question from Morning Sky /Zialia. Yes, these podcasts are recorded /documented. The Twitch VOD will be up at the end of this, and then I'll re-upload it to my YouTube channel. I'll make an announcement when that happens. I am still going to be editing the one that came before this. That one was a technical mess, so we'll see how that one goes.
Yep.
But yes, to answer your question, it's documented, don't worry. Are we ready for another caller?
Yep.
Yeah, alright, thanks for having me, y'all.
Love you, Ringo.
We love you.
Love you, Ringo. Bye.
Bye, Ringo. Okay, Wolf and Feline, pray this works. Hi.
Hi, Wolf and Feline. Don't touch any buttons, please. We love you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, do not
It
apologize.
is okay. I think
have
it's
this
my
problem
fault, but
so
I
much.
don't know what I did. Oh, it's
Okay,
Auxilia.
anyway.
I'm sorry. Anyway, continue.
Before I say anything, shout out to my 2 friends watching this chat. I love you guys. Anyway,
Aww.
So yeah, the future of this game, I really don't know how to feel because, to be honest, up until maybe a month ago, 2 months ago, I had been on and off active.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I kicked them out. Bro.
I would say take off the lock temporarily.
I wouldn't do
but
that.
I don't know what that will do.
I wouldn't do that. Here, I'm just gonna add someone else. I'm gonna add Gay Guppy really quickly. Hi, Gay Guppy. I love your name.
Oh.
It makes me laugh.
Oh.
Sorry.
I'm gonna give them a rank for later. Anyway, you do this, and then we'll do Wolf and Feline. I think I have a fix for it.
Okay.
What's up, Guppy?
Okay. Just call me Fish. That's fine. God. So, like, I'm gonna go mostly nostalgia here. What was your favorite memory from Feralheart?
Oh no.
This is bad. I apologize.
No, I have one. I have one. Alright. So I'd have to say that one of my fondest memories of Feralheart would have to be... let me think for a quick second. Hold on, I lost it.
I think I have one of mine.
I remember the fucking... There was this child, I want to call them. I think I ran into them in Bonfire. They were Polish, didn't speak English, and wanted someone to explore. And me being a little 12-year-old super friendly, like, oh, I'll play with you. And using Google Translate, I was able to talk to them, but I couldn't quite translate what they were saying because I was inept with the keyboard, apparently. So we had this, like, kind of one-way conversation, and we made it from Bonfire to Last Cave, just running around exploring the game.
Oh,
I think that's
freaking adorable.
my fondest memory. And that's also why I love the international board, yep!
Mine is not really...
Honestly, I am for that.
I agree. Mine is not necessarily as cute, but I vividly remember this and I'm not sure why. I wish I could find the map at which this took place in, but I can't. I had this friend, I'll say their username in case they're watching because I miss them a lot. Alleyooper2000. You were a real OG. We used to, we were in this, like, pack in this specific map, and we would just make jokes for hours, and they were so sweet. And, like, I just miss talking to that group so much. And, like, I have no idea where they went.
Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but apparently the stream's down.
It is?
What?
Oh, no.
Everything is shut, yeah. So.
Oh, God. Someone said it's back.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Twitch does that sometimes. Twitch does that.
I apologize
have
if that was
anything.
on my side. I didn't see my internet go down or anything.
Alpha and her boomer boony internet.
Shut the fuck up.
Why did I read the sentence collects French children like Pokemon with my own 2 eyes? Van,
Also,
what are you doing?
Also, the reason why I ask this is because I'm trying to get a little bit off the topic of drama, just for a little bit. Just
I appreciate the optimism.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's nice. Thank you so much. I can't wait
No
to...
problem. Everyone's going like drama, and I'm
I
like,
know.
Memories? It's kind of like when the mods, where everyone is like, oh, bring back the old maps, and then mods, no offense to anybody, you know what I mean. It's like, haha,
yeah.
Tails.
Here, I might have to restart the stream really quickly. I'm just gonna click stop streaming and then restart. So, here, I'll say when it's offline.